fish doesn't recognize when they're in water. They just are. When you're taken out of water, you understand it. And doing that switch from one culture to another, there are things that people just think are reality, when really it's just the shaping of culture. So I felt like I adapted often quicker to changes than a lot of people that grew up in one place and then went to college and assumed how culture would be having not been anywhere else. So I felt like I was fairly well equipped for life, and I felt like I was able to work with people well from many different cultures. I've moved 28 or more times. I stopped counting for that. I had more culture shock coming back here because when you're 10, you don't fully understand culture. When you're 16, you've been enculturated. That's who you are. And coming back, I went from Sydney to Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. That was culture shock. So it was 96. Guys did not have facial hair. They had an inch to maybe 2 inches long of hair. I had hair down to my shoulders and a long goatee, and at 16 didn't fit in very quickly with that. So I think I have more culture shock coming back because I had longer to adapt to it. And then always have had a little bit of Australian since. So yeah, my CAs are learning to pick up when I say things that aren't American English. A couple of interesting things with Australia is they have a bad relationship within the church in that, as you know, a lot of prisoners were sent to Australia. So anytime you got in trouble, it was the priest that told you how many lashes you would get. So there's this very negative view of the church. The other thing is the missionaries were the ones that came in and took the Aboriginal children away from their homes. And yeah, you can't call yourself a missionary. So we went there as peace missioners and church planners. And my parents did a lot of work with conflict mediation, teaching peace and justice issues. When I was a kid, we played on the beach and had fun. Growing up there, sticking your foot in your mouth became commonplace. Because you think that you understand what people are saying, and all of a sudden they'll say something to you, and it's just like, okay, I knew it. So, for example, my sister and I were over at some friends' places, and I said, do you want an ice block? And it was a hot day, but we were thinking an ice cube, and we were like, no. And all of a sudden they pull out these ice cream bar things, and we're like, oh, you mean a popsicle? And yeah, had to learn those kind of things. For the first 2 years we were there, we didn't think people said thank you. It just wasn't what people said, because they don't. They say ta. But if you're not listening for that, you won't even hear them say it. And finally my sister came home one day and says, why are they saying ta, and what does that mean? And it took us about 2 weeks until we finally found somebody who would explain it to us, but everybody says thank you, it's just ta. Yeah, I grew up all over the place. So it's hard to say I'm from one spot. The longest I've lived anywhere was Sydney, Australia. And I was in the same house for 4 years. And that's the longest I've ever been in one spot.